Go ahead.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever episode of the Book Club, brought to you by Red Cyclone Inc. I am Tenacious T, my podcast buddy, pal, and partner in crime, the Merc with the Mic.
What's going on? What's going on? But you forgot to say the whole cast is the Book Club, a TV
Oh yeah.
and movie podcast.
Well, I was gonna, lead into that after the introduction. I
It's all
wanted to
good.
state that it's the Book Club, yes, but it has nothing to do with books.
No, some of the
We will
movies are
not
based
be
on
reading
books.
on this podcast. Yeah, if you have something that's based off a book that we can watch,
Yes.
we will do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I wanted to us to get together and form a new cast because you and I have been podcasting for 11 years now, I would say, and we always had a specific theme to every one of our podcasts, and we just never sat down and just bullshitted about television shows and movies. So I thought, hey, why not do it and record it like we do everything else?
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
Um.
basically it.
So yeah. So we're gonna do some like TV and movie cast. We'll probably give our reviews, and it'll probably be randomized into categories and everything like that. We'll finish the randomizing and everything by the third cast, but we kind of have the first two down packed. We're gonna do Black Rabbit today, which is a Netflix series starring Jude Law, right?
And
And
yeah,
Jason
starring
Bateman.
Jude Law and Jason Bateman.
I
Yes.
get him and Guy Ritchie confused, and I don't know
Who?
why I do, but I just
Jason
think the
Bateman?
same person.
Who? Jason Bateman?
No,
Jude
Jude
Law.
Law.
Oh,
Jude Law and Guy Ritchie, I always confuse them too for some reason. I don't know why. They don't look none alike. It's just that I always confuse the two of them. Cause then I was
and
like, no, that's not Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie was in fucking Iron Man 3. That's not the same person. Um, anyway, so
but this cast we're going to be doing, relevant shows of today and movies of today, things that we watch, things that are, the buzz of what everybody's talking about, because there is a lot of shows out there that I keep hearing everybody keeps recommending that I have to go and see and I have to watch and stuff like that. But also, we will be diving into the past. We'll be going into decades of different shows and different movies of things that we feel like we would like to cast about. So if anybody has any suggestions, feel free to leave comments and let us know what is your show of today, what is your show of the past, movies and stuff like that, because we have no problem taking requests.
yes, I will actually keep a tally of those. So definitely do comment there.
Yeah,
Cause there's a lot of things I actually don't think you have watched that I watched. There's a lot of things that you probably watched that I have not watched. So
yeah.
that's what makes it a fun thing to do because it gives you an intake of what I like and what you like.
Well,
Um,
give me an example. What have you been watching lately, recently? What has been your and Jackie shows? Shouts out to Jackie.
The funny thing is, I think the last big show that me and Jackie watched was Welcome to Derry, which we are gonna review for the next cast of this. But other than that, like it depends on what I'm interested in. Like again, I do the the wrestling babble, so half of my time is with wrestling, and then
Most of your
most of my
time.
time is with wrestling, and then I also record for. We also do a superhero movie, which we're almost done with actually. We reviewed every single movie, every single superhero comic book themed movie since 1979 all the way to the current. So we're going through those. I think we started that in 2020, and we've been going through that ever since. So those are the things that we've been doing on the It's Better I Swear podcast, and so I usually have a shit ton of things to watch. And then also our Morphin cast, we watch fucking Power Rangers and Super Sentai, plus our fucking Wheel of Hell that we watch for Yard Troopers, plus fucking not a Trekkie, we're watching Acolytes right now. And then sadly Gamer Rage kind of died down because it takes a lot of time to beat games and things like that. So that one's gonna become a
especially with all
special.
the cast that we're already
Yeah,
doing.
so
You know
so
what I mean?
this the book club is gonna be the kind of the replacement of the Game of Rage, and the Game of Rage will come out and come back in spurts as like a big game review podcast. And what we'll do is we'll probably all play a game, or like Mass Effect probably be the next subject of our
Yes.
Game of Rage game, which you're going through. I'm actually replaying it just to reminisce of everything. So when we actually all talk about it, we're fresh. And Mike loves that game too. So that'll be the first big cast that actually Mike, all three of us are actually connected to. And Game of Rage will be for Mass Effect. It will be part, and it's also the I think the 20th anniversary of it. So this year, it's a lot of things. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean that was a lot.
Yeah. So within that, so doing this is interesting. Just the fact that I get to catch up with a lot of shows that I have not watched. So I guess the last shows I have watched was Invincible, which is on Amazon, which is an animated show that's it's an image comic of like kind of a Superman kind of character. Very good show. I definitely recommend you watch it. You might actually really like it. The Boys. I've watched all the seasons. Um,
I've gotten halfway through the second season of The Boys. I
the Boys.
rewatched the first
Yeah.
season, and then once I think it was like the what was it, the blown up whale
Yeah.
or whatever, that episode I haven't watched after that
Okay.
episode. I don't know why, but it's a good show, but it just doesn't grip my attention span to keep going.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like
It could
like I
make.
know I want to
Yeah.
watch it. It's like
Yeah.
Titans. A perfect example is like Titans. Like
Yeah.
Titans, like us being the comic book people that we are, and like we like comic movies and comic shows and all this geek lore and stuff like that. But I seem to not be able to get through this show at all. As many times as I try to. Like, and maybe a cast like this will force me to get through it.
I
You know what
like.
I mean?
So Titans, I'll say it took a bit to get into. I'll say you have to kind of like force yourself within the 6 episodes. Once it gets past that 6 episode, the action starts coming and everything just starts like shit starts hitting the fan, and it gets really better and better every season. I could see the differences of it. The Boys too. It might not be for everyone either. It's a show that it could be very insane. It could be very weird in ways as well. So I could see why people lose attention to it. I've watched it because I actually I love the comic book series, and the comic book series is even more sicker than the fucking show. Like they haven't even touched the surface of what the comic book did, because of the crazy shit they do on the show. They ain't even touched the surface of what they do in the comic. So, The Boys is another one I got into. Their
I mean, the
spinoff.
show that the dude that's in The
Yeah,
Boys, the movie Novocaine, like
yeah,
I thought that movie was fucking awesome.
that
You
was
know what I
pretty good.
mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's
It's like
this.
things. It doesn't have to be a natural order of how do we guess we want
Yeah,
to focus and do a wheel and figure out things for fun to watch, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
This has to be for anything, you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
If we want to dive in to all the Godzillas from back in the day and do like a cast for
That'll
each,
be
we
a
could, you
year.
know what I mean. Like there is no boundary, there's no ceiling or rhyme or reason of where we
Yeah,
can take this, you know what I mean.
exactly.
I wanted to get out of the themed because we're capped inside of a theme. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
got
So
you. I got
I
you.
I mostly in my free time I watch documentaries.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like when we're in between watching shows and casts and stuff like that, I watch documentaries. Last night I was watching the new John Elway documentary on Netflix, which there's things I'm learning about John Elway that I didn't know. You know what I mean? There was the
yeah,
Diddy documentary that just blew up the whole world
yeah. I'm not
because
gonna watch that.
of everything that's going on with that. You know what I mean? There is the Paul Rubin, the Pee Wee Herman
I
one, which
haven't watched.
had me in my feels.
I have not watched that one yet. I really want to watch that one.
Like in my spare
I like
time
Paul
and
Rubin.
watching, like I actually like to learn things. Even though yes, documentaries are known to be like kind of one-sided to a
Yeah, it
demographic
depends on
of what
who's
they're trying to
producing it.
push.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like I just rewatched the Eddie Murphy
yeah.
documentary on Netflix. You know what I
That's
mean?
the
And that's a
example.
perfect example of it's Eddie Murphy doing the documentary. Of course, they're gonna highlight the things that he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want to throw too much shade his way because the man had controversy in the '90s for picking up a transgender prostitute in the street, but you didn't hear anything about that in
Yeah.
the in the documentary itself. So you have to take them for the weight of water that it is. But that's what I like to watch in my free time. But this cast can get me to watch Dune because I've never watched Dune.
Yeah.
It could get me to watch Timothy Chalamet movies,
Chalamet.
because I
Yeah.
haven't watched a fucking single one of them.
I always think of
I
Adam
just think this
Sandler
is a
saying
good
it.
idea. Yeah, that's
Tell me
I even did
Chalamet.
the hand.
Yeah.
I did it even the hand thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But like there's no cap, there's no rhyme or reason to
Yeah.
this, and that's why I'm happy that you agreed to this, and I
Yeah.
thank you for this because
No,
I've
no
always
problem.
wanted to do this. This is kind of what me and Jeremy, aka Sriracha, was doing on the Popcorny podcast, but it got kind of like it's kind of flatlined at the moment in time. But it might have a resurgence in the future, and I hope it does. But at least we have this,
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
I can keep we can keep building off of this. So I
Not a
thank you
problem.
for joining me with this.
Yes. So, um, yeah. So there's a lot of shows that me and you probably have not watched that we watched. I probably watched that you haven't watched, and you haven't watched that I haven't watched. So, I'm done with that. So the original consensus is I was gonna make voting like the wheel for a while until we could get people to actually vote for things, but for the wheel I was gonna put TV movie be one. That would be or randomize which one we'll pick. Then I was gonna do decades. So I'll do movies from 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s because I actually love like old school Alfred Hitchcock. I love the old
I love black
school.
and white
I
movies.
love like
You know what
the
I mean?
Universal monsters and things like that, and I think those are things that you will enjoy as well. So, like I love the Creature of the Black Lagoon. I love the original Frankenstein, original Dracula, things like that.
Like the
Nosferatu,
man who laughs.
yeah, The Man Who Laughs and shit like that. So, there's a lot of cool things I actually will not mind going back into those. So I'll say we go by the decade, and then we go by genre. And then when we
Yeah.
go by genre and stuff like that, then that kind of narrows it down to what we could pick. And then from there, I guess we would just go back and forth. So you could probably get the first pick after Welcome to Dairytown. And then after that, I'll get the next pick. And then we go from there. And it could be anything. Like, so we'll just categorize it through that and then go from there. So our category would be comedy, action, sci fi, drama, horror, documentary, and we could put all those things in between and have a catalog like that, and then we go from there. Because there's probably even documentaries even within those times that it could be interesting to watch to this day. And then honestly, I don't know how far the documentaries go back to, so it depends
No,
on what it is.
believe it or not, documentaries go back really far. Like a perfect example, um, there's a really famous Rolling Stones documentary from back in like the '70s.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's really really good, but it's dated for its time. Where back in 2012 on they used to have the biography channel.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Which I think A&E took over, so that's why they have like the bios now
yeah, yeah,
on A&E. They did a Rolling Stone one that was completely updated for the modern times
yeah,
because there a lot of things have happened
yeah, a lot.
since 1976. You know what I mean? Like since that
Yeah,
time, there are documentaries that are extremely dated that I don't think we should ever touch.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But that's neither here or there. I don't think when it comes to documentaries, the times, like the decades would be smart because it's like there's so much more information
yeah,
that comes out as time goes by, and we'll be sitting there watching something. It's like, yeah, his new album's coming out in 1980. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
John, and it's fucking John Lennon, and he's still alive and stuff like that, knowing that in 1980 he's fucking gets killed. You know,
yeah.
it's like there's
So
things like that
we're
that
working on the kinks, but for now, that's what it is. Our first two episodes
yeah,
gonna
I would
be,
like to say
yeah,
we do relevant shows. Like everybody keeps telling me to watch Landman or like Yellowstone and shit like this, like shows that I wouldn't normally watch, but everybody craves about, like
yeah.
Kit Room or whatever, Kit or Pit or whatever the hell it's called. There's a
Have you ever watched Scrubs?
no, I've never watched Scrubs.
I love Scrubs. That's probably one of my favorite.
Christina wants to watch Scrubs.
That is probably one of my favorite sitcoms of a lot of times, and that actually it's actually confirmed that it's the most doctor accurate shows of like medical shows, and it's a
Yeah.
comedy show. There's a
Well,
lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in those shows that they did great. Like there's some really sad fucking moments. There's some really good moments, but all in all, but then again, sitcoms are long, especially when they were like 2000 early 2000s. Not compared to now, like a lot of them are shorter, but back then it was like 20 something episodes each and things like that. But Scrubs would be a good one that I think you will actually enjoy. I think you'll find it funny. Um, but that's one that I love. Like I probably watch that one like maybe once a year.
yeah, I know Christina wanted to watch it because Christina's in the medical field, and we
Yeah,
watched the what was the name of it? Because I'm not really that big. I'm not big. Like I'll never ever suggest watching Grey's Anatomy.
I
Um,
wouldn't watch that either.
you know what I mean? But the one with the kid from why am I forgetting the name of it?
Oh,
We
I know what you're talking about. The one he's in Charlie and Chocolate Factory, isn't he?
Yeah, well, yes, he's also Norman Bates as well.
Yeah, I know him from Charlie of the Johnny Depp Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, man, I forget the name of it, but yeah, we watched that, and that was actually really good. But I highly recommend everybody to watch that show. His name's Freddie Highmore. Movies and shows. The Good Doctor.
Good,
That's the
yeah,
name of
I
the show.
heard
Like The
about
Good
that.
Doctor was really good. I'm not really big into like one-off episode kind of
Yeah,
shows. You know what I mean? It's like I like to have a story premise and stuff like that. But sky's the limit. Who knows? You know what I mean? But this is a new cast, and I dig the name. You know what I mean? Because this
yeah,
has nothing to do with fucking books. Which stems from shouts out to Watson and Melissa on at work. We watched like Lost together and sat down and bullshitted together. We watched Breaking Bad and sat down and bullshitted and had pizza. And I call those the book club, but that book club is dead, and now this is the new evolution of the book club. So I'm happy that we are doing this, and we're gonna stop rambling on and on and on about that.
yeah.
So and get
Uh,
and get to the
yes.
cast at hand.
So we are reviewing Black Rabbit.
Yes, we are. Black
Uh,
Rabbit. Shouts out to John Strang. He's the one that referred me to this show, and any show that he ever suggests, I am going to dive down into because this was a great suggestion. I absolutely thought this show was flawless from beginning to end.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. So let's just get some of the synopsis stuff going. So we have it. So, Black Rabbit. It's a TV miniseries started in 2025. It's TVMA. Um, it is a Netflix exclusive, so it's only on Netflix. So there you go. It is 8 episodes. The times of each episode varies. Some are 45 minutes, some are 50 minutes, some are about an hour. The season finale was definitely an hour. It started
Yeah,
September 18th, 2025. That's what you need to know.
yeah.
The
It's the
stars.
it's designed to not have more seasons. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So this is a one and done. You go into watching this show, you're getting the entire story.
yeah. Uh, Top billing of this show is Jude Law as Jake Frederick. You have Jason Bateman as Vince Frederick. You have Cleopatra Coleman as Elsa.
Estelle,
Estelle. There you
Estelle,
go. Amika Okafor as Roxy. You have Robin D. Jesus as Tony. You have Chris Coy as Babbitt. Babbitt.
Babbitt.
Babbitt.
Yeah, he's an
Um,
idiot.
Otis Young as Jen. You have Gus Burney as Mel Whitney. You have Eli Coleman as Joe. You have Soup Desiree as Wes. You have Don Henry as Matt. You have Forrester Weber as Junior. Um, is there any other
Yeah,
important people
that's
here?
that's a lot because this the cast goes on and
Well,
on and on.
this guy is actually important. Morgan Spector as Campbell. He was probably the P the investigator kind of shit. Like he was kind of
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, he's badass though.
And who
He didn't
was?
play in the game.
And let me look, find the guy that was the deaf mobster dude.
The Troy Kotsur
That's him.
is Joe Mancuso.
Yes,
Yeah,
Troy
the deaf
Mancuso.
mobster.
Yes,
Yeah, the deaf mobster.
he was an important character as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this show is crazy.
The show is definitely crazy. Just
You want to read the synopsis and go from there?
yeah. Where are you reading it off?
IMDb.
Okay, just making sure I want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, so the synopsis is when the owner of a New York City hotspot allows his turbulent brother back into his life, he opens the door to escalating dangers that threatens to bring down everything he's built. Is that the one that you were reading?
Yeah.
All right. So this is based in Manhattan, which
Yes.
conveniently for you, you get to recognize a lot of the places where they actually filmed it.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in Lower East Side.
Yeah, so that I knew that would have been fun for you because you live there. For me, I live on Long Island, so I'm a tourist every time I go out there. But
It was
over
between Lower East Side and there was a lot of parts in Brooklyn. There's
it's
places in Williamsburg that they filmed through, and then places in Dumbo that they filmed through. The
it's
restaurant I
important
think
to
was in Dumbo.
because the restaurant is right next to the Brooklyn Bridge,
Manhattan Bridge.
Manhattan Bridge. I thought it
Hmm.
was the Brooklyn Bridge.
No, Dumbo is underneath the Manhattan Bridge. I
Oh,
know exactly where that restaurant is at. Like I used to bike right over there.
okay. Well,
Yeah,
you would know better than I would,
yeah,
so I wouldn't.
yeah, yeah,
But it's important.
yeah.
It's important to note that Jason Bateman directed this.
He directed and Jude
This
Law
was
produced it.
yeah. This was kind of like a passion project, which is it's funny because like Jude Law, like where the hell did his resurgence come from? All of a sudden, he starts being back in things. Like I haven't seen him since like Alfie and Enemy at the Gate.
He was in a
I don't
lot
know
of
if you ever
things.
seen
He
him.
was in Captain Marvel. He was in
Yeah, but
Skeleton.
I'm
He
gonna
was
be
in
honest. I saw
Skeleton
Captain
Crew.
Marvel once. Okay, this is one of my least favorite Marvel movies,
He
so
was in
I didn't really
Skeleton
watch
Crew
it like that.
that we just
Yes,
watched on Not a Trekkie.
that's what I'm talking about. His resurgence because I
Oh,
haven't seen him. Like he was like a name back in like the early 2000s, and then he just became nothing. Jason Bateman has been having this incredible career, even though he was an '80s child star. And then I just watched there's a show on Netflix, My Next Guest with David Letterman,
yeah,
and I watched the episode with Jason Bateman, which is the reason why I also jumped into watching this show because he was talking about this show to him. So Jason Bateman, little fun fact, he was a child star, and then he quit acting for a while to go to college and do drugs and have fun. And then he met his girlfriend, and she was like, "All right, it's time to stop all that shit." And then his ass went back into acting, and then not Perks, Arrested Development
yes,
researched his career, and now we can literally name so many movies and so many shows that this man has been in and been a part of, and he's an incredible guy and an incredible human being because he's actually a really good dude.
yeah.
And
He was in a lot of
Ozark, if
things
nobody's
recently.
seen Ozark, fucking watch Ozark because
That's
Ozark's
something
amazing.
we had to probably do in this
Which
cast.
I'm 1,000% down. But
So the last things that he was in was the Fantastic Mr. Beast. He was in all three of them.
I've never
Um,
seen any of those,
Me either.
believe
I'm
it or
not a
not.
Harry Potter person, so I probably would not watch them.
So I'm gonna make you watch Eric.
I watched the Harry Potter movies. I was not crazy about them, but I have
You love
watched
them.
them.
Stop playing.
I can't stand them. I like Buckbeak. That's like the only thing I like off of the movies is Buckbeak. That's the Griffin.
Yeah, yeah, the bird.
Yes, that was my favorite character.
Um, you're missing out. You sound like Jeremy out there, but it's
No,
good to
I've
hear.
what you know what I did like Prisoner Ask anyone the ones that with Gary Oldman. Those are the ones I actually enjoyed. Everything else
Yeah,
I just felt like it was just I didn't care for. But anything with Gary Oldman I tend to like anyway because I like him as an actor. But I think Prisoner Azkaban and Order of the Phoenix, those two.
Yeah, Goblet of Fire is
Or Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire. Those are back to back, right?
yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix. Those three
Yeah.
went from kid to adult in a
So
switch of
I
a
will say
finger. You know
within
what I mean?
those three, I enjoyed the original one. I didn't care for it; it was felt too Disney. And then the last ones, I just felt like they just prolonged it, and they could have ended in the first movie.
I listen. This neither here or there.
that was my that was my
I
thing.
love the
I just
Harry Potter movies, so I we, we'll talk about that another day because I can go off. It'll be an all day thing of me talking about Harry Potter. But this show right here is like you definitely have to watch Ozark to really see because Jason Bateman he's known for like funny things. You know what I mean? He's always like the Tammy, identity theft.
yeah,
Horrible bosses. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like game night, whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Like he has like these dramatic movies, but like he is the funny part to the movies. Like he is the common guy in it that's always like, what the hell is going on type of thing. You know what I mean? But for him, I I I dig his dramatic roles. Like this is something like Ozark. So you haven't seen Ozark, but Ozark he plays like a serious character. Like with this one, the backstory is um him and his brother he has this idea to start open this like new refined kind of restaurant,
yeah,
and he brings his brother in, and eventually what happens is because of the Jason Bateman, the Vince character is kind of like a fuck up, so
yeah,
they kind of like excommunicated him out of the bar
yeah,
restaurant thing, you know what I mean? There was an incident on the roof that made a they made one of the employees of his become paralyzed. You know what I mean? I don't want to go in depth like too much because I want people to watch it and see it for themselves.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But because of like these choices that he makes, he gets excommunicated out of it. Where he goes over to the West Coast, and this is the beginning of the show where he's in the West Coast, and he literally starts off the show with having to run somebody over with a car. So it literally just straight from the beginning starts very dramaful.
yeah,
Um, you know what I mean? And then the progression in the series of episodes is like it is filmed and directed and acted very well.
yeah.
You know?
I agree. Um, yeah, and honestly, even saying that it was more a dramatic role, there was times that it made me laugh at how his reactions with things, um, and just how sarcastic the character was and everything like that too. Um, but yeah, I think this show was like really well acted. I would say by like five, like the towards the end, the finals of the episodes and stuff like that, like shit started hitting the fan and it just started getting a lot more crazier. But the way the story built and it intrigued me. It kind of got me
Yeah.
really into it within the first episode, and that's something that it's rare with a lot of shows. Sometimes they put too much into the first 3 4 episodes that I have to like listen and like really gather everything in. I think they did it in a way that it rolled really fast and it rolled really good. So I'm
It
very
made
happy
you
with it.
want to watch the next episode.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. I did like the actor choices. I did like the dude that played the son of the deaf gangster because he was an asshole and he played a good
Yeah.
asshole.
And like the whole dynamic with him and his boy, like there's sub stories that are going on. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like there's so many elements of different relationships. You got the Jude Law character, Jake, who's just trying to make it.
He's
You
an
know what I mean?
asshole
And
though.
yeah, he is. He is the reason for his fucking downfall.
Yeah.
Him and trusting his brother, which I understand the brother aspect of overly being there for your sibling. I'm not
Yeah.
saying my brother's a mess up or anything like that, but I understand the brother aspect of like always making sure to take care and to be there for
Yeah.
him. Like his brother constantly is a mess up, which is hindering his success. He has a very successful business that he is part owner in with one his best friend who's this hip hop guy,
Yeah.
and then this other girl who's a cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like this guy's character, he's finally trying to do something for himself. So he's doing things behind people's backs, which makes him an asshole. You know
Yes.
what I mean? He's literally plotting to build a new franchise at this prestigious landmark, but as all this is happening, the fucking walls are closing in on him. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And it all stems down to one character. And I feel like this character had the worst shit out of everybody in the show, and that's Anna.
Yeah.
The Anna character, the girl who got drugged in the very beginning of the
Yeah.
show. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like out of everybody in this show, she got the worst hand dealt because she didn't deserve any of this. She was a hostess that literally got drugged by this art guy. You know what I mean? And because of Jake trying to he kind of keep things under the wraps because he needs the Black Rabbit to be really successful in order for him to branch off and do what he needs to do. So this girl who trusted this guy thought that he was a friend to her, and he's like, I can't do nothing because it's gonna fuck up the business. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
fires the girl. And ultimately, like, what did she really do? She did nothing wrong. And ends up ultimately getting fucking killed in
Yep.
her bath. You know what I mean? Like, it's messed up. And Vince is an asshole for that because
Yes.
Vince had to drop her fucking name. Jason Bateman's characters, for character purposes wise, is a crazy ass character. The
That
the
and he.
levels of fuckery
Yeah.
that
And
man is capable
I
of.
feel like they wrote him not to be liked a liked character. I felt like in the beginning of the show and everything like that, you're kind of looking at him and seeing what he's doing. He felt like he was written like not to be a liked character.
But I agree. But he is liked amongst his peers in the
Yeah.
show. Like, you know what I mean? Like Wes, Jake's best friend,
Yeah.
the guy who Jake steals his fucking girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, which is super hot, might I add, but that's neither here or there. Um, what you call it? Like when Jake came back, like you could tell the rift between the chef and like other people that were working because Jeff was excommunicated. Like, get the fuck out of here! This guy's always messing up. But Wes is like, hey, I'm happy. It's like the band's back together again. You know what I mean? So it's like there's the camaraderie aspect of the people that were around him. But the Vince character, he's an asshole. He fucking leaves his daughter. His daughter can't stand him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's constantly manipulating. He comes back to New York after being gone for what 2 3 years, I think he was
Yes.
2 3 years, only to come back to an outweighing debt that he owes, which is done by. It's kind of like I feel like he's like the Irish mob kind of. I think that Joe character, the deaf mobster, I think it's like an Irish mob thing or like a Russian mob. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but literally the first second he comes back is like they find out about it, and then that's when everything goes downhill. If this man never ran the dude over in fucking California and came back to New York, none
Yeah.
of this shit would be happening.
Yeah. He fucked up.
It's the butterfly effect. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
And everything
But I
fell
feel
down from
bad for
there.
the Anna character so bad because she didn't deserve any of this shit. She's literally an innocent bystander in it, and
Yeah.
ultimately ends up fucking dying because of it.
Yeah. 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 I think both brothers in character wise they both like you could dislike them towards a certain point and they like all right yeah and assholes yeah deserve some of this a little bit at least. Um.
I think Jake had a little bit more like I don't know. I respect him because he's a hustler and he's trying to do things. It's just his way of doing it.
Yeah, he's
You know what I
very
mean? Like
manipulative.
exactly, but
Yeah.
like he tries to play it off like he's the victim.
Yeah, he's not, but he's
Like
very
at least Vince knows
manipulative.
he's a fuck up.
Yeah.
Vince
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
and banks on the fact that he's a fuck up. My favorite thing about Vince is that when um when he's not fucking things up, he's jogging places. He's
Yeah.
like I'm exercising and running. You know why? Because he's always running from something.
Yeah.
He needs to make sure his endurance is up.
It
You know what
reminded
I
me of
mean? But
Zombieland. I was telling you the other day. It reminded me of Zombieland. What's rule number one? Cardio. You always have to have
yeah,
good cardio. So if
yeah,
he ever landed in a zombie apocalypse, he'd be good.
no, he definitely would. He probably if wasn't for his his exit in the last episode,
Yeah.
um he would have definitely been in there, but you know what I mean? Like just the chef, you know what I mean? The chef who's trying to, she's trying to make a name for herself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then she's paired up with Jake, who constantly lies to her and manipulates her. Like she wants nothing to do with the brother. The brother
Yeah.
gets in the mix, and she's like, "Promise me he's not going to be a fucking part of this." And he promises him. And then literally 20 minutes later, Vincent walks back into the bar like, "I'm back, everybody." Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like there's so many levels of like fuckery going around with Jake, and but it makes him a great character because the one thing that holds true to him that he can't escape is that it's all for his brother. No matter how many times they fight, punch each other, fucking
Yeah.
hate each other, I hate you, da da da. He always goes back to being there for his brother, and I personally understand it. I get it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing like it. That's his only sibling. You know what I mean? So it's like I mean, Vince's backstory alone, killing his father,
Yeah.
like I can understand why he was all fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
Yeah. That will fuck you up.
Yeah, man. It's like his father beat his mother. Was a raging drunk. You know what I mean? And this kind of like it kind of played to an advantage, but it is a disadvantage when it came to the mobster guy because the mobster guy was the one that was like messing with his mother
Yeah, and they
and
also cleared the body too.
yeah, you know what I mean? So he kind of had like a heart for them, but at the same time wasn't dealing with their bullshit.
He got
You
tired of
know?
their bullshit.
Exactly. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, listen, like you don't have legs to stand on. You're gonna do what the fuck I tell you to do. And the only reason why we're even having this conversation is because of my relationship with you and your mother. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
I
it
thought I thought
was it was
those
crazy.
are those scenes were interesting when they show the past and his mother and the father thing, and they actually showed the backstory of it. I thought them going into detail with it made you feel more for the characters and stuff too.
Yeah. I understand why Vince is messed up. I
Yeah.
understand why he's an addict. I understand why he's an alcoholic. I understand why he continuously makes the wrong decisions because the kid's been fucked up forever. He killed his father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
That.
and
Yeah.
he held that secret in forever, not telling his brother. Ultimately, to find out that his brother already knew that he did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I now stems and bruised the plot even more of the reason why Jake was always there for Vince because he knew all this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They also were. I think it was cool that they actually started a rock band before before
Yeah. Yeah.
the
That
thing.
was actually kind of cool.
Like where they're like mediocre famous in the neighborhood because of it.
Yeah. 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 That's cool.
But I love it. You know what I mean? The the mind fuck of the scene when with the robbing of the jewelry.
Yeah. That was actually a
Like
fun
this.
scene though.
Well, now keep in mind, like
It was
the
funny
movie,
because
the show started off with that scene,
yeah.
and then the rest of the episodes went to a build up to that scene,
Yeah.
where you ultimately find out it was fucking Vince
Yeah.
under the like you didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, shouts out to my girlfriend Christina. She didn't watch the show with me, but she watched like some of the episodes because
Yeah.
she was hanging out with me on the couch. And I'm flipping the fuck out over the fact that it was Vince as one of the robbers in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like the build up to that dramatic build up, which just like, oh my god, this show everybody needs to watch.
Yeah, I found it funny when he met the jeweler and stuff like that. I was like, "This is not a robbery. This is even an exchange. I gave you fucking I gave you the jewelry.
I gave you.
Give me the
The
money."
guy's like, no, it kind of feels like a robbery.
I was like, "It's not a robbery. You took the items."
But yeah, I just love how he gets away with like the running. Like he's
Yeah,
just running and running and running,
until he stops.
and literally gets caught up in back in the bar at his friend's bar, which he ends up getting fucking killed. Like everybody
Yeah,
around them just gets messed up.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
Like
just
Wes lost his girl and then got killed.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And all he was doing was just being a friend. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
He
It's
was
like,
giving money to them and shit.
well, he was a partner in the
Yeah,
business. You know what
exactly.
I
And
mean?
then he was gonna be a partner with the cook as well because he got because once he found out that shit happened, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy him out too. Fuck his ass.
I'm gonna burn this bitch down.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But I mean, like I feel for the chef. She only wants the best for her and her
Yeah.
staff and everything like that. And Wes, he his best friend stole his girl, so I'm sympathetic to that. Anna, I feel so bad for Anna. The sous chef guy who got shot in the fucking neck. Like these are all just innocent bystanders of
The brothers
this
fuckery.
debauchery of the brothers, problems. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's like this flourishing ass business, which is like this. They had critics coming in and. The name Black Rabbit, the whole layout of the place, like it was set up for success, but Jake just had to be greedy. He just had to have. He's like, I'm tired of cleaning up shit at the end of the night. All
Yeah.
because of that, and his brother coming back, everything just goes to shit.
Yep.
Which was
Uh.
basically the entire show.
So, what would you review the show?
Oh, I give it a 5. I think it's flawless. I think from beginning to end, it's a great show.
I'm at that point too. Like I give it a 5. Like I was 100% invested into the show. I thought I was not gonna get into it, and I got into it really fast in the first episode. I thought it was really well acted. I do, as much as the dude Jason Bateman is known for comedy and stuff. I thought there still was some comedy within the shows that caught me and made me laugh as well, and just like the interactions with certain characters and stuff like that. It also made me laugh. But I thought this was a really well done, well written show, and I really enjoyed it. So
The conversation Vince had with his daughter when she was tattooing him
yeah,
about a family and about how don't pick don't fucking trust and love people that you are programmed to do it. It's like go and find your own way.
yeah,
I resonated with that so much because like there's so
I
many
agree.
people out there that are like obligated to love shit family members. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I mean, it's sad to say that, and because you're supposed to love your family and stuff like that, but like him knowing that he was a fuck up and like he was never in his daughter's life, like that was the best advice.
yeah,
And you could tell like he was so emotional behind that. There's so many heartstrings pulled in this show while still having the comic relief, while still having the drama and the build up and the what the fuck is happening next. This was a recipe for a great television show, and I'm gonna be honest, it might be one of the best things Jason Bateman ever
yeah. I
did,
could
in my opinion.
possibly agree.
I think Jude Law finally, uh, like he's an actor to me now again, and I'd
Yeah,
be excited to see him do other things. Like I was never a Jude Law fan. This show made me like being a fan. Like we're gonna do a cast on Star Wars Acolytes. I mean, we already did Skeleton Crew,
he was
which
great in
he
that.
was a great character in that. So
He was an
like
asshole
I'm
there
happy to
too.
see the resurgence. Yeah, of course, he plays a good asshole. You know what I mean?
He plays a
But it's
great
good to
asshole.
see an actor that I haven't seen since the early 2000s have like a resurgence and like do more work and be more relevant and stuff like that. And
Cool.
I think acting wise, everybody, I don't think there was a bad cast member. I thought everybody, even down to that sketchy fucking artist dude who
Yeah,
even barely even did anything, like he was on point. Everybody was on point. It was well directed. I needed to be dark in certain areas. I'm talking visually wise. It was dark in certain areas. I think overall the scale of the show was amazing, and I highly recommend it. I mean, we could really dive down and get into depth and stuff like that, but I want people to watch it and not be spoiled by everything we were saying.
yes,
So I apologize if we were very quick and kind of like all over the place with it, but we just want you guys to watch it
yes.
because this
Watch
show
it.
needs to be watched.
It's on Netflix. So definitely check it out.
Eh, it's there.
Black
It ain't
Rabbit on
going anywhere.
Netflix. Yeah, definitely check it out. Again, we're gonna try not to spoil as much, especially if it's something that's kind of relevant to new. Like if
Yeah.
it's a show that's from the '80s, yeah, I don't give a fuck about spoiling it. But if it's a show that just came out within the year or so, then yes, we want you to watch it, want you to enjoy it, and actually get your own perspective of it. But from us, we truly enjoyed the show. It was again extremely well acted. It had a great
Perfect show to
plot.
start the cast off with
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know.
It had a great plot. It had a great dark humor to it and things like that, and I really enjoyed it. I again the ending kind of blew. It didn't blow my mind. I kind of I didn't kind of see it coming, but I wasn't surprised that it happened.
I was surprised how it happened. I thought it was going to happen another way.
Yeah, I wasn't
You know what I mean?
surprised in what happened. I was just more surprised in how it happened.
And where it happened
Yeah,
is even crazier. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Because
exactly.
the tie-ins, because that was talked
Yeah,
about multiple times
yeah, yeah,
throughout.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it was just so good, and it pulled some heartstrings, man. Like it
yeah,
definitely, like I felt for Jake, but I also was like, it's your fucking fault, bro.
yeah. Like hold accountable too. So there
You know
it
what I mean?
goes.
It's like he just constantly is a manipulator and a liar while
Yeah,
trying to play the victim. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But in all reality, a lot of people are like that. So,
yeah. I agree.
but
So we could wrap this up.
yeah,
Do you have
I'm with
any
that.
final things to say about the show or anything else?
I'm just happy that it was one and done. You know what I mean? I think everything that it needed to stay and show us was done well in the 8 episodes. It doesn't need a sequel. I don't think it can have a sequel, honestly. Um, and yeah, I just highly recommend everybody watch it. Shout out to John Strang for recommending this to me because I will start taking the things that you say about shows more seriously because you were not wrong, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, John Strang, homie. But
Yeah,
I really
homie.
enjoy. I really enjoyed the show. I didn't think I was not gonna. Honestly, I probably would not have watched this unless you told me to watch it. It was just not in my radar.
Yeah,
Again, I watch tons of wrestling and things like that, and I'm always busy with something else that I'm watching. But I actually really enjoyed the acting. I really enjoyed the characters and stuff like that. I actually like Jason Bateman and most of the things that he's in anyway. So it kind of sold me into that. And then when I started seeing the sceneries, when I started seeing the Lower East Side, I started seeing like the 10th Street bridge where he met up the dude. It was like in the middle of a bridge that was on 10th Street and Avenue D. One of the bars they used was in Abbey Way. One of the parks they used was in Thompson Square. Like seeing I love seeing that shit. Like Law and Order fucking films over here all the fucking time, and they always had the same areas that they filmed. So it was about the same thing. But I truly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the future of what we do with this cast, and I'm looking forward to what we watch. So,
yeah,
um, the next show we're gonna do Welcome to Derry because that's also fresh off of what we actually watched. I watched it on my own. You watched it on your own. This was a show that was not prompted by the cast at all. We just lined up watching it. Um, me and Jackie actually binged like the first 7 episodes on when I was forced to work, or when I was forced to go back overnight. That next day I couldn't sleep, so we just started watching, and we watched like the
yeah,
first fucking like 7 episodes, and then we watched the final like 2 days later, and it was great. So that'll be our next review. Will be Welcome to Derry, and then the format of the show will probably go within that show, and we'll create from there. So thank you for listening.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
the Book Club,
This is the book club.
a TV and movie podcast. And again, thank you Black
I just
Rabbit for
love
being
that.
our
I'm
guest.
sorry, I
Yeah,
can't help but laugh at that. I really can't help but laugh at that. It's so
yeah,
funny. Welcome to the book club, a TV and movie podcast.
exactly.
Well,
Somehow,
thank
some
you,
way, somehow, some way, one of these movies and TV shows are based on a book. So there you go. That's the book.
yeah.
That's the book and Friends above. But
Well,
it was a creation
I
that you
agree.
wanted to do, and I was a whole 100% on board to do it. So let's rock it.
Yeah. Well, we'll work the kinks out and and make it a machine of itself. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? This is the first episode, so apologize for obviously the beginning rambling and stuff like that.
yeah,
But this is day one. Sky's the limit of what we can do, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. Check out our other casts.
yes. So we do have the Not a Trekkie, which we're recording next, actually. But we have the Not a Trekkie, we got the Morphin Cast, and we have the Shell Shock podcast. Those are the Ninja Turtle, the Power Rangers, and the Star Wars podcast that we do exclusively based on those bases. We have the Wrestling Babble and Guess Better I Swear, which my co-host Mike Louis Beans joins me, and we cast about those. Tenacious D will be on those soon, one day or another. But other than that, this is all Red Cycle Inc., so we all kind of share everything. But those are all the casts that we do. Definitely check those out when we get a chance. When you get a chance. And follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitch, and TikTok. Omar Mike. Follow us at Link on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and WordPress. Follow Tenacious T.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at the real Tatsuguwap on on Twitter and also on Instagram as well. Trying to be a little bit more active and start promoting more and start building the brand up more and more. But all in good time. I'm not as savvy as the young kids out here these days when it comes to liking, sharing, and doing things like that. But always shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island in two separate locations, one in Miller Place, one in Smithtown, satisfying all your retro video game needs. And if you are on the island, it's not in the island, it's on the island. If you are on the island, go and check out Game On Retro Video Game Arcades, one in Smith Haven, one in Lake Grove, and the other in Riverhead, Tangaround.
Yep. Also, um, peace out, laters, and
Yeah,
thank you for listening.
fuck, yeah, fuck sort of.
Fuck Zora. There you go.
No matter
Peace
what
out.
cast it is, it's always
Fuck